Welcome to Iron and Empathy, the podcast where we explore what it truly takes to build strong, resilient teams in high-stakes environments. I am your host, Drew Moldenhauer. This is episode number 1. This podcast is about forging teams with grit, discipline, and accountability, while intentionally building empathy, trust, and psychological safety so people can communicate openly, perform under pressure, and look out for one another when it matters most. You probably heard some of these key words before, but maybe not together. Strength and compassion, performance and people, accountability and care. We live in a world that often tells us it has to be one or the other. I don't believe that is true. A little bit about me. My background is rooted in public safety leadership and education. I have been in law enforcement for 18 years now, 12 years full-time with the city of Ramsey, where I was an active shooter instructor, field training officer, use of force instructor, and a patrol officer of 12 years. From there, I went on to become a part-time police officer with the city of Osseo in Minnesota for 6 years. I am set to retire at the end of December 2025. It has been an honorable career and one that I have learned a lot from and taken a lot of experience from. I also have a background in teaching criminal justice and public safety. I have taught in high school at the Anoka Step College, where I taught 11th and 12th grade students criminal justice work. Then I went up to Bemidji State University, where I taught there for full-time for a year. And currently, I teach at Metropolitan State University, where I am the PPOE coordinator, and also teach at Normandale Community College and Hennepin Tech College, also in the skills program, where I teach students how to become good licensed police officers. For years, I've worked in environments where decisions matter, emotions run high, and the consequences are real. That work eventually led us, me and my business partner, Rich Webb, to create Blue Ethos Specialized Training, where we help organizations build stronger, safer teams. We do this by teaching teams how to communicate openly, stay calm under pressure, and create true psychological safety. We focus on active threat preparedness, de-escalation, situational awareness, psychological safety, and at the core of it all, high-stakes teamwork. Here's what I've learned after all of it. Skills matter, tactics matter, but culture matters more. One of the themes that I've just noticed, and something that I've learned a little bit ago that I'm going to have people on this podcast talk a little bit more about, is psychological safety. When I say that, let me ask you something. In your current environment, whether that's work, or you're on a team, or your family life, are you able to speak freely? Do you feel okay if you make a mistake? Can you take calculated risks? If not, that is not a psychological safe environment. And we will be covering a lot of that in this podcast. Other themes: emotional regulation under stress, trust within your teams, and leaders modeling calm and empathy. If leaders don't model it, how do you expect your workforce to follow? If you have an open door policy, but you never go out to visit your people, how can you expect them to come visit you? If you want people to speak up, but when they do, you tear them down, how can you expect them to do that? I've seen incredibly capable people struggle, not because they weren't smart or trained, but because no one taught them how to operate as humans under pressure. The name Iron and Empathy comes from this belief. Strong teams sharpen each other, just like iron sharpens iron, but they also protect each other. Iron is that discipline, standards, preparation, resilience, and accountability, whereas empathy is that awareness, listening, actively listening, caring is cool, and humanity. The best teams don't choose one, they live in both. On this podcast, I will be sitting down with leaders, professionals, creatives, first responders, business owners, and people who have lived through the high-pressure moments. We'll be covering things, but not limited to, high-stakes teamwork, psychological safety, leadership under pressure, de-escalation and communication, growth without losing your people, and what resilience actually looks like in real life. These aren't theory-heavy conversations. They are real, honest, and practical. We will also have schmoozing conversations where we answer thoughtful questions from our listeners and explore current events related to this field. Who is this podcast for? Well, if you lead people, work on a team, respond to crisis, you're building a business, or simply want to show up better under pressure, this podcast is for you. At the end of the day, everything I do, whether it's training, teaching, speaking, or this podcast, it comes back to one idea: helping people perform better without losing their humanity. This first episode is just the beginning. My hope is that these conversations challenge you, ground you, and maybe even help you show up differently tomorrow. Thanks for being here. I'm Drew Moldenhauer. This is Iron and Empathy. Let's get into it.